Okay, so moderation tools. So this is the commands that we'll be looking at today. Analyze, clear, clean, roll, remove, roll, assign, update power, remove power, create power, and set command power. And we shall start off with clear and clean. Because I have a lovely chat filled with a whole bunch of junk that I've got to clear and clean. So, we type clear. The options are no pinned, only bots, only user, and no embed. So, how this works is as follows. Clear X messages, in other words, the number of messages, followed by the arguments, either one of these arguments. You can have multiple, but eventually you will get to a point where it won't delete any. So it will delete messages between your position, right here, and the numbers greater than it. Your position, like here, that you just sent your message, one above. This is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. It will then filter from that for only the ones that are not pinned, the ones that are only bot, the ones that are only from a user, or the ones that are not embeds. So we say no embed. And let's just say I wanted to clear one message. You see what happened there was because the message was a bit too short, or it wasn't enough. I mean, the number of things I checked wasn't enough. It didn't work. Deleted a total of 2 messages. Now let's just verify that in a moment. Let's try delete to remove content. This in theory should do it. It does it. So what it does is it literally does that. It goes up 3, checks all the messages between 3 if that condition exists. This argument can go up to this number can go up to infinite. This number can be literally that big if you really wanted to. But I don't recommend you do. But yeah. Additionally, a very cool feature I added not long ago, actually very long time ago now that I think about it, is quite simply this. So I'm gonna do a little demo here. So we have these positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let's just say I wanted to clear between 2 and 5. How would I do that without clearing 1? Well, it's actually not that difficult. You see, clear 2, 5. Hey, look at that. Numbers 2 from 5 are gone. This is one of the features I added, which I don't think any other bot does do. And again, you can compound this with the additional arguments. So let's say I'm going to just scrub. I just want to make sure. I'm pretty sure I pinned these, right? Yeah. So I'm going to just go clear 2 to 100. Well, let's go 200. Let's just go crazy. And I'd say no pinned. Saying no pinned will mean it will get all the messages that are not pinned and delete them between the range 2 and 200. And what do you know? It deleted everything above this message except for these ones because these were pinned. Very cool, in my opinion. I personally use it on my server. Anyway, let's just delete. Of course, the limitation is it does not clear the actual clear command that you type. So you don't. Well, the only reason for that is really because just it's there. And deleting it is just an extra thing to do in the whole process. And in fact, sometimes people don't really want to delete it because they want to see what they just typed, so they know that the bot didn't make a mistake. Yeah, sometimes you don't want to have proof that you did something. Okay, no. Anyways, moving on. Now that that is over, let's move on to analyze. So analyze is a very useful command. We type analyze right now. Has a latency of this and whatnot, and no missing permissions. Very nice, eh? Very nice. Let's go here and actually remove one of them though. So now it should complain. I might have missed. So it has a missing permission view guild insights. That doesn't really matter. It is just a simple one to show. And let's just say it was below 2 roles here. What do you know? It just tells me owner and admin are above me. Okay. But now what? If you wanted to mention a user. Whoops. It is currently not, as you can see, it's currently not supported. But there is another command which will come in to later play under the miss commands. But anyway, if you actually wanted to use something else though, let's just say owner. The owner role, yeah, it says it's not bot editable. In other words, it cannot change anyone with that role. It'll tell you the ID and it'll tell you its color in terms of an integer. And it'll tell you the position of the role relative to the other roles. So that's at position 4, and if you go to roles, we see that as true. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's analyze a channel. Let's analyze, why not say logs? It tells me the date it was made, the position, the guild, or what type it is. It's a guild text channel, the ID it has, and the permission checks for the bot checkout. But let's just say I changed that. So no one can send or read messages. It's unable to send messages. That makes sense. As we saw, I've now completely disabled it from being seen, so it can't even be set there. It will basically check all the necessary permissions that it needs for a particular channel, and it's useful if you wanted to debug something with the bot. Okay, this is pretty much it for this. It was pretty simple. Now on to role assignment and role removal. So this is a very useful command for when you have multiple things to do in a server. So hypothetically, if you had, I don't know, 100 users that needed to have a particular role added to them, this command does it for you. Role assign at everyone, or however many users you want to do. You can do individual users. at the role. Let's just say I wanted to have everyone as a moderator. Everyone that it could assign to has moderator. If you remove that, so why hasn't it been working? Well, that is because the user that you were, in i.e. me, did not have a role higher. So while I did technically have permission to do so, it didn't see that I didn't have a role. So it's important to keep in mind that you have to have a role higher than the role that you're trying to assign. In other words, or equal to. In other words, I remove this, I won't be able to do this. And in fact, I won't be able to do this. I didn't actually. It won't work. But as soon as I add this role back to me, here we go. Everyone now has the moderator role. Now that leads us into our next command. Remove role, remove at everyone at mod. What do you know? It is gone. And the same, let's go with the owner one. And as you also saw, it at the same time sent and deleted all the prefixes and suffixes you might have had. Now, it will only select one role. And you can also, just so you know, you don't have to mention the role in this case either, but it is recommended. Anyway, let us go and see the next command. So we've covered all these commands. By the way, clean is the same as clear. It is just another way of writing it. Okay, so I just wanted to do set command power. When you type this, it'll give you this error message because I haven't really specified anything yet. So set command power works by setting a particular command to a power level. And I want to set it to number 3, which is currently not displaying anything. So I'm going to set raw to power level of 3. There we go. Now if we go back to commands. Yes, I did restart the bot. So it didn't exactly save that information because it wasn't being used. So let's go back and create that power. Okay, so to create a role power, we need to go create power. Create power's format goes like this. You either mention the role or the role name, followed by 2 of these grave icons for the name, which would be something like supreme being. Oh no, let's go co-owner. Co-owner. And we want to set this to be 3, for instance. Setting it above will just give you an error message, just if you're wondering. Now if we go to commands, we'll clearly see that it's at level 3, and no we don't. Because, in fact, we don't have any commands assigned to level 3 yet, because they're all moved up with the owner commands. Now our top power level is 4 instead of 3. So, how do we solve this? If we want this above owner, we go update, power. Oh, sorry. How do we solve this? Well, it's pretty simple. We just set a command power to it with the syntax of that. It goes command power, the command name we want to set, or the alias. Alias will be talked about in the miscellaneous one, followed by the power name or something like that. Let's set it to 4. There we go. Oh, whoops, sorry. I was not exactly thinking there. So it chose 4 over... Sorry, I'm getting confused with what I've done about 1 billion times at this point, fixing little errors that have cropped up in my testing. Go owner. Oh, goodness. How can I be so... There we go. Okay, so commands. Now we go check that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now update. Power. Update power takes 2 main arguments at the beginning, name or level. This is an actual string you put in. So, update power. Let's update the name. And let's change the value of co-owner to be supreme being. So now it has a new name. Everything that goes between the 2 grave icons, yeah, becomes the new name. Now obviously we can't have the co-owner, the supreme being above the owner. Seriously. It's just wrong, right? So what we'll do is we'll set the update power level for supreme being to be instead 4. Now if we go to commands again, you'll see it is above it. However, let's just say you wanted to remove supreme being now. You also have a command for this, remove power. And if you just type that, it'll tell us the syntax to be that. Remove power, then the power number or power name. Let's go with just the power number as 4. Now let's go check the commands again. And what do you know? Raw is back to power level 3, but supreme being is gone. And everything is fine and dandy, as they would probably say. But anyway, now that that's over, the next video will be on the miscellaneous commands that are just there that you might have not noticed. And yeah, see you then.